And then when you take the top off, you do, Jesus. I'm so crazy about you. I'm so crazy about you. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faye, and for today's video, as you guys can see by the title, I'm going to be bringing you guys a foundation review. I asked you guys on my community page as well as on Instagram what foundation you guys wanted to see me review first, and the majority of you guys said the Make Up Forever HD Skin Foundation. So that is the review that I'm bringing for you guys today. I'm going to be showing you guys the application of the product and also a more than a full day wear test. I ended up accidentally having this foundation on for like 12 hours. You guys will see later on in the video what I mean by accidentally, but I definitely had this foundation on for like 12 hours, 10 or 12 hours. So you guys will get a full day wear test and then some. So if you're new to my channel, I do have oily skin, so I will be testing this obviously for all of my oily skin girls and letting you guys know how well it holds up after wearing it for a full day. We'll be testing all of the claims and all of that good stuff, which I'll get into once we actually get into the application of the product. I will also have timestamps for you guys along the timeline, so if you want to jump to specific parts of the video, you can do that by scrolling over the timeline down below. So yeah, I think that's all that I have for you guys for this intro. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the review. All right, y'all, so I got you zoomed in so that we can go ahead and get into the application of this foundation. As you guys can see, I'm in the midst of a mid-beat because I am filming another makeup tutorial for you guys. It's a full get ready with me. It will probably go up after this video, so if you're interested in seeing that, stay tuned. But of course, we are here for the Make Up Forever foundation. So I'm actually going to start priming my face, and we can kind of talk about the foundation while I'm priming my face so we can get the ball rolling, okay, period. So for my primer, I'm going to first be using my Fenty mattifying primer. You guys already know how much I love this. And I'm going to be doing just my regular face routine for you guys because anytime that I'm testing out a new foundation, I never want to switch up too much of the other things that I'm doing on my face, just so that we can make sure that we give the foundation a fair and honest shot. So this foundation comes in 40 shades. It retails for $43. And one thing that I will say off the top is if you are planning on picking up this foundation and you have a Sephora near you, I would go in to the Sephora to get shade matched. And also, by the way, I'm going in now with my Cover FX blurring primer to blur out my pores. But yeah, like I was saying, I would go in to a Sephora location to match, like to get shade matched, because I initially was going to order this foundation online. And so I did the shade match based on like other foundations that I have purchased from Sephora. And when I tell y'all, when I went into the store and I picked up that shade, I would have been big mad, okay? Because that shade was way too light for me. I think it matched me to like a cinnamon something. And when I went into the store and I picked up that shade, I realized, like, I could tell pretty much immediately that that shade was going to be way too light. So I did swatch a couple of the shades when I was in the store. And I'll just say, I think it's best, unless you're familiar with Make Up Forever. Like for me, I don't really have a ton of Make Up Forever foundations. So I wasn't, like, I didn't know from a previous foundation that I had what my shade would be. I'm going in now with my Milk Hydro Grip, by the way. You guys already know, holy grail. So I didn't have a reference point. So if you're more familiar with Make Up Forever foundations, then you may, you know, feel a little bit more comfortable just purchasing online. But for me, I'm glad that I went into the store, because had I not gone into the store, I definitely would have had the wrong shade. So the shade that I ended up getting, or that was matched to me, was 3Y52, which is previously Y445. So I guess they're kind of like switching up a little bit with what the previous shade range numbers were and what they are now. So previously it would have been Y445, now it's 3Y52. And that shade is Warm Chestnut, and it's described as being for tan skin tones with yellow undertones. So yeah. Now I am going to color correct a little bit because that's just my process. That's how I would actually wear my foundation. I wouldn't just go in straight with just a foundation. I'm sure there are tons of other reviews out there on this foundation where if you want to see somebody just apply it straight on the skin just to see the coverage, you can see that. But for me personally, I like full coverage. I got other stuff to do today. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I actually take a light to medium full coverage foundation, or a light to medium coverage foundation, and make it a little bit more full coverage, because as you can see, I do have dark spots. I do have other concerns going on my skin that I don't want to be showing through the foundation once I'm done. So to color correct, I'm going to be using my Live Tinted. This one is in the shade Balance. I've been loving this. And I just apply a little bit under my eyes, around my nose, around my mouth. And then if there's any specific areas of concern that I want to cover, I'll apply them there. And then I go in also with my Too Faced multi-purpose concealer. This one is in the shade Butterscotch, and I do just a dot on top, and that's how I'll actually blend it out. Okay, so this is how we're looking now that I've color corrected. I also want to stay consistent with the way that I actually applied the foundation during the wear test portion of this video, which you guys will see a little bit later on in this video. But now that I have that applied, I'm gonna go in with my Cover FX. This is the matte setting powder in the shade Medium. And basically what I like to do with this is lightly set everywhere that I place the color correction, so that when I go in with the foundation, it won't be mixing together and altering the shade and just changing the way or the tone of the foundation. So I like to use a beauty sponge for this. This one is from DSMD shop, which I love. They have super affordable sponges and the quality is A1, so highly recommend. I'll link for you guys down below, and if I forget to link it, just remind me and I will link it for you guys. All right, so now we're ready to actually go in with the foundation, and let me just see if there's anything else. So it's a light formula, natural finish, long wearing, waterproof, which I did not realize it was waterproof. Medium coverage, best for oily combo, normal skin. So it doesn't mention dry skin on here. I didn't notice any issues with it personally, but again, I do have super oily skin. So if you have dry skin, you may want to consider getting a sample from Sephora and testing it out before you commit to the full bottle. So it says on here that it's supposed to be an undetectable liquid foundation that blurs and covers imperfections for up to 24 hours. It's powered by a micro skin system that syncs with the skin for true to skin finish. And by the way, I did end up wearing this foundation unintentionally for about 12 hours, a little over 12 hours. So be sure to stay tuned until the end of the video to see the actual wear test portion, because you might be surprised by what you see. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the application. So this is what the packaging of the product looks like. I think it's very true to the brand. And the actual bottle looks like this, which I'm here for. If you guys remember the previous Makeup Forever bottles, the top was black and then this part was still the same, but I love this like taupe muted kind of pink colored packaging. I just think it's super cute. And I also think if you're somebody that stores your makeup out on your vanity, this would look really cute sitting up on top of your vanity. It does say, it seems to say, yeah, on the back it says shake before use, so that's why I was shaking it. And then when you take the top off, as you can see, you do have a pump on the actual product. So let's go ahead and get into the application now that we got all the details out of the way. So I'm actually gonna pump this onto this little makeup palette that I have, and you guys can kind of see the texture of it. It's a little bit runny, but nothing crazy. Sorry, that's a little bit, I know it's reflecting because of the lights, but let's go ahead and apply it to the skin. So I'm actually going to pick it up with this little concealer brush, and we're just going to, oh, you know what? something that I actually forgot that I did when I applied this initially. So you can kind of see on my face already that this is pretty orange. I forgot that when I applied this, I used a little bit of this LA Girl foundation mixing pigment. So if you are somebody that has a hard time finding your perfect shades in foundations, I would recommend picking this up, because basically they have like a blue one to mix with orange foundations. They have an orange one to mix with foundations that are too cool. They have a white one to mix with foundations that are too dark. So yeah, I would highly recommend. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this in, because I realized it when I swiped it on my face that it's super orange. So, and I'll kind of show you guys the difference after mixing this in. So you see how this looks, and then you see how that looks. That matches me much better. So we'll apply this over here and up here, and then we'll just take this and bring it over here. Just try to mix it all together, because I forgot that I did that when I applied it a couple days ago. So that was one thing, like I told you guys, when I went into the store to actually match myself, that was one thing that I noticed with the foundations. A lot of them were pretty orange. So I still wanted to test this out for you guys, but that is just a little tip that I would recommend. Like, see how much better? Y'all see that match? Okay, period. I would definitely recommend that for any of you guys that are my foundation twin, that, you know, if you have a hard time finding foundations that actually match your skin tone or your undertone. And these little mixing pigments, they're very inexpensive. You can get them from Ulta, and I think they're like $6 or $7. And it literally lasts me forever, because like you only need a little bit to mix in. And yeah, they are a lifesaver for us brown skin girls that might have a hard time finding the perfect shade. And I do want to mention too, by the way, that the mixing pigments do not change the formula or the consistency of the foundation that you're adding it to. I just want to go ahead and put that disclaimer out there, because I don't want nobody trying to come for me in the comments. It does not change the formula of the foundation. It literally just helps you to match your color. So this is how we're looking after one application. You can still see some of my dark spots peeking through. Again, it is a medium coverage foundation. It's supposed to give you a natural finish. So if you are somebody that pretty much has pretty clear skin, you'll probably look flawless with this foundation on your skin. But if you are someone that has hyperpigmentation, that has areas of concern that you're trying to cover, then you may want to do a little bit of color correction, because as you can see, I did some color correction and we can still see some of my dark spots peeking through. But the formula and the finish is, I mean, it looks beautiful. It doesn't feel like there's anything on my skin. It feels lightweight, and it just looks really good. So I am going to go in. I have a little bit more on my little mixing plate here. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more, and we're going to see how it builds just right on those areas of concern. We're going to do the same thing over here. And I'm actually not going to blend this all the way in. I'm going to let that just kind of hang out for a second and kind of dry, so that we can maintain that coverage that we have in the middle of the face. I'll just tap over it lightly. And also, if you are someone that needs a little bit more coverage from your foundations, I recommend using a brush. A lot of times in my reviews, you guys will probably notice that I hardly ever go in with a sponge, just because most of you guys that follow me have similar skin concerns. You're oily, you have large pores, you may have discoloration. And the fact of the matter is that applying your foundation with a sponge, if you have areas that you need to build up the coverage, a sponge is going to shear it out and soak up some of the product. And that's not what I want. I want something that's really going to place the product, place the coverage, and keep it there. Not something that's going to take away from it. So for those of y'all that maybe want to see the application with a sponge, I'm sorry, but that's just not how I apply my foundation. It's not realistic for me. And a lot of you guys, like I said, that follow me have mentioned in the comments that your skin is similar to mine. So I figure you, for the most part, won't mind that I don't ever show like half the face with a brush, half the face with a sponge. If you do care about that, let me know down below in the comments. But from what I've seen with my reviews thus far, it doesn't really seem to be a huge issue for most of you guys. So I'm guessing that most of y'all apply your foundation similar to the way I do. But anyway, so this is how we're looking after a second layer. We can still see some of my discoloration peeking through, but we definitely were able to build up the coverage a little bit more while still keeping it looking natural and not cakey. So I'm going to hop back over to my other video and finish up the rest of my face, and then I'll pop back in once I'm done and show you guys how everything came together at the end. Alright guys, so this is how the face is looking now that all of the makeup is on. Again, like I said, I am in the midst of filming a full get ready with me, so if you want to see how I achieved all of this makeup, I believe that video will be coming soon after this one, so stay tuned. But just wanted to pop back on really quickly and just show you guys the skin. It's looking really good, really lightweight, like I was telling you guys before. And you can still kind of see some of my skin underneath. So it does definitely give you that natural skin finish. It's lightweight. It definitely gives that medium coverage. So yeah, I just wanted to pop on really quickly, show you guys how the application is sitting. So next I'm going to go ahead and jump over to a couple of days ago when I did the full wear test so that you guys can see how the foundation actually held up after wearing it for like 12 hours. So let's go ahead and jump into that, and then I will come back at the end of the video and give you guys my final thoughts. Hey y'all, so I just wanted to pop on real quick. We are out and about, obviously, as y'all can see. We outside, nigga! But I just wanted to pop on real quick and show y'all how the face is looking. So today is Thursday. It's Thursday evening. Now it is almost 7. I've had this on since 5 or since 4. So it's been about 2 hours. And this is how the face is looking. Looking really good. And it's kind of like evening time right now. You can see the light behind me, but we're in the city. We're about to go bowling for my husband's belated birthday. I could see you. But yeah, we're about to go bowling, and I figured I would just bring y'all along and of course give y'all some updates on how the foundation is holding up. I did have to put my mask on because I stopped on the way over here to do a return at IKEA. So everything is still in place, looking good, and now we're about to go ahead and head inside for bowling. So just wanted to check in with y'all real quick before we go inside, and we'll see y'all when we get in there. How they got food already? It's the black okay, granny bowl. Don't hate on my granny bowl. It's actually 4 a.m. It's actually later than 4 a.m. It's 4:40. Here's the time. Check. 4:40 a.m. Things got a little litty. for my husband's birthday, which I mentioned to y'all earlier. We went out and we're celebrating his birthday. We started at the bowling alley, then we ended up at a lounge. Things got a little litty, and I pretty much came home and passed out on the couch, and here we are. It's 4:40. So he actually just woke me up to tell me to come upstairs and get in the bed, and I was gonna just wash off my makeup and just scrap this whole video and film it over tomorrow, but I decided to just come in here real quick, even though I look a mess, because literally I'm exhausted, but my face is still looking good. So I was starting to blot my skin, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna come in here and film a quick little clip and show y'all what my skin is looking like. So I'm just gonna zoom in so you guys can see. Obviously, I kind of started blotting over here before I came and sat down, but you can see that there's some oil. Don't mind under my eyes, because like I said, I was asleep, okay? I was asleep on the couch. But we're starting to get a little bit oily on the face over here, a little bit on the forehead, nothing too bad. But overall, my face still looks pretty good. So I'm gonna actually blot really quick, just to see what, like I was saying, I kind of started, and this was on the left side, and as you can see, there's not really anything coming off of my face besides the oil. The actual foundation color on my face is not really coming off. So I'm gonna blot the other, or finish blotting, even though I'm about to go to sleep. But I figured this would be a good clip to include, because I legit have almost had this on for 12 hours. Not intentionally, but I'm really impressed with how it looks. Okay, so this is the skin. There's a little bit more on here now, obviously, but this is my skin after blotting with the tissue, and it still looks good. Like, what? I'm shook, honestly, shook, okay? So if you have been on the fence about getting this foundation, I highly recommend. I don't know if it claims to be super long wearing. I'm sure when I actually film the beginning part to this video, like showing you guys the application and all of that, which I'm gonna do tomorrow. I wanted to test it out today because I was actually going out today. I don't really have anything planned for tomorrow. I'm sure I'll give you guys all of the details and everything, which you probably will see before this part of the video. But if you have been on the fence about picking this up, let this be your, whatever the word is that I'm looking for. I'm exhausted, y'all. It's legit. It's 4:45 in the morning. Your sign, that's the word, your sign to pick it up, because my face, after literally 12 hours, is still hitting, okay? It's still hitting. I could go in and I could add more powder, add more blush, bronzer. I don't really need to, but even my brows are still on. Like, my whole face is still hitting, okay? So just wanted to pop on here real quick, give y'all a little update, which I'm glad I'm doing, because now I don't have to refilm the wear test portion of this video. But she survived the night, so yeah, I think, you know, if she can survive a night in Atlanta, a litty night in Atlanta, and still look like this, I could fall asleep on the couch. She's a must-have. So I'll definitely be wearing this foundation more often. Definitely gets a thumbs up from me for all my oily skin girls. Y'all already know. I am as oily as they come, and the face is still sitting, period. All right, so I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go wash my face and go to bed, but yeah. All right, y'all, so just wanted to pop back on really quickly and wrap up this video on our review of the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. I definitely give this foundation 2 thumbs up. As you guys saw in the actual wear test portion of the video, I was surprised by how long the foundation actually lasted on my skin. I didn't intend on keeping it on for over 12 hours, but for it to still look as good as it did after having it on for that long, after going bowling, after sweating, after sleeping, all of the above, my skin still pretty much looked like it did when I initially applied it. And had I needed to make it stretch even longer, I definitely could have gone in and applied some more powder and just freshened things up. And I think it probably could have kept going even longer. So if you are on the fence about picking up this foundation, I would say that it definitely lives up to all of its claims, which, just to recap, it says that it's supposed to be a natural finish, long wearing, waterproof, medium coverage, and best, of course, for oily, combo, and normal skin. I can't speak so much for the combo and normal, but being an oily skin girl, you guys saw, I mean, the proof was in the video. You guys saw how well it held up on my oily skin, and I would definitely recommend. So this is a foundation that I will probably continue to repurchase even after I use it up. It's something that I feel like I could count on if I need it to last for an extended period of time. Something that would be great for wearing to work, for wearing if you need to go out and you're gonna have a mask on. Basically anything that is going to require that you have the foundation on for an extended period of time, and you're going to be out in the elements, moving around, potentially sweating, any of that kind of stuff. I think that this would definitely hold up for you guys. So let me know down below what you guys thought about the review. Have you picked up this foundation? Have you tried it out? How did it work for you? If you have tried it out and you leave your impression on it down below, let us know your skin type as well, just so we can kind of have an idea of if maybe it's wearing or working differently on different types of skin, normal, dry, oily, combo. Let us know down below. If you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to my channel and you made it this far into the video, definitely go ahead and click on that subscribe button down below and join the fam. And let me know too any other foundations or any other products that you guys would like for me to review here on this channel. So thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see y'all very soon in my next video.
We can count all the stars in the sky as they pass by your face. On your face. Take a trip up to Mars, hold you tight.